In this video, I'm going to show you how to paint clouds using my most used brushes and tools. But before we do that, let me show you some best practices. The first thing you want to avoid are clouds that fit in a perfect circle. Now, this is just a best practice. They do exist in nature. I went on a walk the other day and I saw a cloud just like this. But most of the time, you don't want it to look like a perfect circle. When I paint clouds, I always say you want to make sure it's lumpy and bumpy, almost like an amoeba shape. It shouldn't be patterned at all if possible. Very, very random. And notice how it kind of tapers off on either end, like the wind is blowing it. Now, again, remember clouds are like snowflakes. No two are exactly alike, and there's so many different kinds. Don't let anybody tell you that you are wrong if you like the way your painting is. But if you see it and it doesn't look quite right, try to avoid clouds that have very smooth edges, and remember to add to it to make it lumpy and bumpy like this. And if you get one that is perfectly circular, like confined to that small shape, try to elongate it, like you're taking your hands and pulling it outward. So that's the style cloud I'm going to demonstrate today, and we're going to compare the different brushes I tend to use most often. Now, to start, we're going to use the mop brush first because we need to paint a background for our clouds. I just dipped into some sky blue and some white together on my brush, and I didn't mix them on the plate, by the way. I'm just letting them blend naturally. So paint your entire sky like this. I'm just going to do a demonstration at the top here to start because I want to make sure for this demonstration that my background is still wet. So I just did that sky. I'm going to dip into some more white, but I left some of the blue on my brush as well. I didn't clean it. Having some of the blue helps it look less cartoony and more like it has highlighting and shading. So what I'm doing is I'm tapping the brush, forming the cloud as I go, and I'm also doing a little circular motion wherever needed. Sometimes I think it's easier to use kind of the side of the brush, so I like to tilt the handle up or down depending on which side of the cloud I'm doing. And because the background is still wet, it's going to be much easier to taper out the ends and kind of blend the ends into the background, kind of fade it in. And you'll notice that the cloud is much more subtle because it is blending in with that blue. Now, what some people like to do is they add layers. So they'll start with a base layer like this, then they'll dry the sky and go back in with more white to add highlights. That's entirely up to you. If you're just looking for the impression of clouds, and I do this a lot, I do the clouds right away while the background is still wet. So those are clouds with a wet background and a mop brush. For the rest of the clouds, I'm going to use a dry background, so I'm going to cover my entire canvas with this blue and then dry it so you can see the difference. So just to compare a dry and a wet background, I'm going to take another mop brush, but I dipped into mostly white. I also tint it with some blue, and I'm going to do the exact same technique. So right away, you can notice that the cloud is much brighter, because the white is not blending in with the blue in the background, and then you can just form the cloud however you want. Now, notice it's a little harder to taper off those ends. They're going to look more like dry brush, but you're going to get a lot more texture. And just be cautious that you're not doing too much paint on your brush because it may turn into one big white blob. Takes a little bit of practice. If you do get too much white though, you can always take some more sky blue and then go back in and add shading. I personally like to do this sometimes if the clouds look a little bit too bright. Look how that gives it more definition. The next brush we're going to use is a Filbert brush. This is a size 12 Filbert. And what makes these nice for clouds is they already have the rounded oval edge. So if you struggle getting those lumps and bumps like some clouds have, this brush is perfect for that. And we're doing the same technique, tapping your brush and also doing little circular motions. Because it's a smaller brush, you may need to dip into more paint more often, but I would suggest starting with some of the paint and then working your cloud until you run completely out. So notice I'm tilting my handle too when I'm doing the bottom of my cloud. If I want it to be lumpy, I'm tilting it upwards, and when I'm doing the top of the cloud, I'm tilting it down. And then once you get the shape you want, if it gets too bright white, like mine is very, very bright, I'm going to go back in with some of my sky blue like we did with the other clouds and add some shading with just using the same brush stroke, little taps and circular motions. So those are Filbert brush clouds. Can you see the difference between the mop brush and the Filbert? Next, I'm going to show you a round brush. This is about a size 6 round brush. This is actually one of my favorites because I feel like you have the most control over the shape of your cloud. I have white and a tiny bit of blue on my brush. And what I like to do with this is I'm still tapping and doing little circular motions, but I'm forming the top shape of my cloud, and then I build down. So see how I'm dipping? Every time I dip into more white because I'm using less paint, it adds highlights as you go. I don't find like I need to go back in and add any shading afterwards because I have more control about where the white is and how much to add in different areas. Already you can see different layers of color, and the shape is much more irregular, much more random, which is like a true cloud. Because this is more of a dry brush technique too, if you want to taper off and kind of blend out the edges or even the bottom, you can wet your brush and use a tiny bit of water to do that. So I'm going to do that on the right one over here. Now, another favorite tool I like to use to paint clouds is a cotton ball. I know I've heard mixed reviews about some of you liking this technique and others not, but I think it's just so effortless. It's almost like you're scrubbing something off of the canvas, but really you're just smudging the paint around in that cloud shape. I dipped into a tiny bit of white, and I'm just doing little circular motions, just like with the other brushes. This gives you not quite as much control as the round brush, but I do think it gives you such an irregular look because it's almost like a dry brush technique that they look more realistic than some of the other ones. A similar tool is one of my fine sea sponges or artist sponges. Believe it or not, I think this makes really, really great clouds super simple. So if you have one of these, look at this. By tapping and just doing little circular motions, you're going to get this really, really neat looking cloud with also very little effort. And because you're using so little paint, it makes it easier to go in and add highlights as you're working on the cloud. You don't usually have to dry it like the ones we did in the beginning. I think it's fun to try all the tools you have to see which one works best for you, but let me know which one is your favorite. And if I didn't use a tool that you like to use for clouds, let me know in the comments. Happy painting, everybody.